I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like for the baggers.
Back home again.
Back home again.
In
Indiana land.
All right, everybody, welcome aboard to episode 2 of season 5 of Dirtyard Dish. Once again, I'm your host, Rudy Lyon, and today we've got a special guest, not a first-timer on the show. We did a couple episodes last year. One of our great players in CCW, an MVP candidate last year, none other than Taylor Carpenter. How you doing tonight, Taylor?
Oh, great, Rudy. Thanks for having me. Happy to do Dirtyard Dish again. Always a good time, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're looking dapper as ever with the
yeah.
full ensemble mustache. You got you're a fashion icon with the sweater, the LA Dodgers hat.
That's right. Good. Thank you.
So just to give you a quick rundown of who Taylor is, and this is how I explained to him pre-show, is I feel like Taylor is one of the best kept secrets nationally in terms of wiffle ball. Hasn't been out to a U-Whiffs yet, which I think evidenced by the drop list and just other tournaments that have gone on. Taylor hasn't been able to travel outside of Indiana to play in a tournament yet, but an incredible athlete. You put him in, whether it's on ice, whether for hockey, whether it's playing basketball, football, baseball, wiffle, he's got a knack for everything, just a natural talent. So kudos to you for that. And then this has segued into obviously your MVP candidacy in CCW, which I talked about. So everyone knows who you are and what a threat you are at Circle City. And the numbers speak for themselves. Last year alone, you were second in the league in wins, 7-3 with a 3.6 ERA. You were up there in innings pitched, 84 Ks. And you really cemented yourself as the ace of the 8-ball staff for sure. And then as a hitter, 425, slugged over 1,100. Your OBP was 460, led the league in homers with 26 and RBIs with 54. So I guess just with all those numbers, like I'm just spitting numbers here, but I want to get to the story behind those numbers and what originated you in CCW. So tell us about your CCW background. Like what year are you going into in 2023 in terms of your veteran status? How'd you first get involved, and what teams have you played for?
Yeah, so I started. I think this upcoming year will be my 6th year in the league. Really, just got into it. Just texted Brendan one time. We all know each other from high school, Southport and Perry, and then just texted him and came out for a season with the Big Ballers. Was my first year. It was me, Landon, my brother, and it was tough that was when you could play with 3. It was tough to get 3 people to show up. So we had some fill-ins, and it was a good year. I think we were about maybe a little below 500, but the league really wasn't what it is now. And then after that year, I played 3 years with the Shorts, and those were some really good times. Good years. I think we maybe came in second twice, lost 2 times in the Dirtyard Classic, I believe so. And then last year with the 8 balls, just another really great year where I think a lot of things started coming together for me. But I mean, I love playing in CCW. It's really something I enjoy. I love being out there with the guys. So I mean, I'm just happy to be out there, man.
Yeah, we can tell. The energy that you bring, like the thing that I think of most when it comes to you and being at the Dirtyard is just a classic. Come on, like you're always giving that. Like if Mike Speak Senior gives us the yes sir, yours is the come on.
Yeah,
that's after a big K, after a huge bomb into Doyle's tree. Like that's your thing. That's your calling card.
Yeah, and, it feels good. I gotta release it out there somehow. I do. I mean, I'm intense out there, but that's how I play all things though. Like whenever I'm in them, I mean, I just go hard, and that's how I've always been. So CCW, it's kind of allowed me to continue that because after high school or if you go to college, play ball or whatever, I don't know, just continue that. It's been a really good experience.
I think your intensity plays out. Yes, like you have to have a sense of composure on the mound. You have to have a sense of calm at the plate. But defensively, I think is where your intensity shines most because you have made a dozen just incredible defensive plays. One that comes to mind, and I know you were given a nod or some recognition nationally as a defensive player within the Central
Yeah.
region. One play you were, I swear, in left center, and a ball got flared to right field, and you just all out sprinted and somehow got your fingers underneath the ball and snagged the ball
Yeah.
extension with one arm. I think you stood up, gave one of your yells, and then spiked the ball into the outfield, and just the whole play. Everyone was
Yeah,
there.
I think
Mind
there was
blowing.
that Housey, I believe. I think it
Yeah, I think it
was
was.
a few seasons ago. No, I do remember that. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of my, if I'm screaming, it's just a lot reactionary, and I think that helps me in the field too, is because a lot of my game is just quick reactions and quick movements and things like that. So I think that all those things kind of just culminate in those moments. Makes for a good time.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably top three, if not the best all-around athlete in our league in terms of the hitting, the pitching, the defense, all of it. And that is an obvious reason, as we segue here a little bit,
Yeah.
as to why you were a national or an NWLA representative for CCW the last two seasons. You played when we hosted in Indy, September of 2021, and then last July in 22.
Yeah.
And you played a huge role. You've obviously produced in terms of scoring runs, RBIs, home runs, defensively. What are some of your favorite moments from these last two tournaments that we were able to host in Indianapolis?
Yeah, man. I know I was reading over this, and I was really trying to think back, just like just because those weekends, just a lot happens so quickly, and it's whenever you think back, you can kind of just really digest all this stuff. But for me, going back to this year, it was really just how everybody contributed, down the line. That's what I really appreciated. And I think that's a lot of the big reason that we won, is because we were able to save some of our guys, and then our offense was just clicking like that. If one guy was having a down game, somebody else, Brennan or DJ, whoever, is stepping up. And I think that helped us. And I think as we get more experience, I think that more of our guys are just going to be put in spots where they can show what they got. And I think that was huge and good to see. And then another one, just when we won the tournament, all the guys who were out there, man, just been doing it for, at this point, almost 15 years, with just, little tournaments when they're playing in the backyard and stuff. Seeing all the guys just be able to celebrate, man, that was definitely, that was the highlight of the summer for me.
Yeah.
It was just awesome to see, and couldn't be better guys, man. I love the guys from CCW, so it was fun.
It was a homegrown title, and it felt great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it definitely felt like that too. I wasn't around for whenever CCW, but I feel like I was, man. And that's just kind of how everybody makes you feel, and I just love it, man.
If we were never to win a title again, I'm glad that we got our one in Indianapolis with all the your family was there watching, cheering on all the guys that used to play in the league but still follow, and our fans.
Just it
was a shame that it couldn't happen at the Dirtyard with the weather, but still, I think a perfect scenario. And I'm curious now. You ripped a shot, I think, in the 6th or 7th of the championship game that was probably 6 inches from getting out.
Yeah, I remember it hit the wall. I think it was actually it was in the same inning that Will hit. I believe it was in the same inning. I think I was on second when Will hit that. And it was before that. It was that at bat, man.
Did you think it was gone?
Off the bat, maybe, but immediately, once I saw the trajectory, I knew I hit it really hard, but once I saw the trajectory, it wasn't going out. But that was a great game. Obviously, came down to did it go to extras or went to extras, and then it was a great game. And no, the Skibby, we faced so many other pitchers during the tournament, so just they got a lot of good pitchers. So it was a tough game. It was a fun time.
I like to think, I can't remember when your shirt came off at that point. It was either at the plate or when you were rounding third. But had you been the one that actually hit the walk-off, I can imagine a world where you would just be stripped down butt naked.
Yeah,
rounding the
just
bases
immediately. Yeah, no,
in front of your
it would
family
have
and everything.
I wouldn't have made it to first base.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
At
have. That's
a at an elementary school, that might have been a problem. So I'm glad you kept your clothes
yeah,
on.
that's true.
So moving forward, though, since we've
Yeah,
had great experiences in NAA the last 2 years, tournament's going to be in the Pittsburgh area this
yeah.
upcoming season, with the date still to be determined. Are you planning on taking part in any other future national tournaments? I would assume NAA is a lock. Do you have interest
Yeah,
in
yeah, no,
UWIFs or?
yeah, no, I'm definitely in for any of them that they want me at. I mean, it was a kind of a scheduling issue last year with UWIFs. I definitely was on, I was hoping to go, but it just didn't work out. And I mean, I hope to be right there. We'll see what the future holds, kind of. But I mean, I love playing those tournaments. That's what I over the past couple of years, I just like before this, I hadn't taken it too seriously, and it's just like I'm just out there for a good time, which I mean I still am clearly, but I don't know, it's just different, whenever
Mhm.
whenever you're playing with those guys and the guys in the league in those tense situations, you just kind of grow something with them, and I really that's something that I do really enjoy playing with those guys. So I'll play in any of them. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah. Look forward to it, whether it's in Pittsburgh, in another, obviously, there's a chance we
Right.
could end up in Pennsylvania twice in the next
Twice, yeah.
8 months.
Right.
So get your
Yeah.
freaking flyer miles ready,
Yeah.
or start saving up with the gas prices so you can put the fuel in the tank.
Right.
So how about now that we look forward, let's look back a little bit. I mentioned all your stats from 2022 that made you an MVP candidate. Just
Yeah.
walk us through the 2022 season with the eight balls. Like, what was it? I feel like you've been steadily inclining
Yeah.
ever since your rookie season, and you really took a huge leap last year, especially
Yeah.
with like leading the league in certain categories. But what clicked for you at the plate, on the mound, and what do you think was the biggest jump for you in terms of your all-around game this past season?
Yeah. No, I feel the same way, kind of just how I've been every year getting better. And I think a lot of it for me is just like comfort and
Mhm.
comfortability out there. And I've like found a really good level of it. And like maybe at first when you're new and stuff, you don't have that as much. And I think that the more comfortable I get out there, just like the better I'm capable of playing. And so I think that is like a huge part of it. I mean, this year was a great year. I mean, definitely. And I mean, I'm surrounded by really good players all like on all my teams that I've been on, the shorts and the A balls. I think that that's helped me to get a lot better. Just competing with those guys and having those guys either in front of you or behind you in the lineup, things get moving, and I really feed off that energy. So I think that that's a huge part of kind of my success and my success kind of in AA and stuff is I'm in the lineup with these great hitters, and the pitcher is worried about them,
Yeah.
but they kind of forget about me maybe a little bit, and
Hmm.
I mean, and that's when I thrive,
Right.
So, but not the season with the eight balls. It really was great. I mean, it ended. It really sucked how it ended.
Hmm.
I mean, credit to Will, the Moonshots that played their asses off. I mean, I feel like I just feel like I left. I feel like I just could have picked things up in some areas, and I mean that's just what it is. And we'll go out next year and see what happens. But I mean, I loved last year, loved playing with those guys, and hope to continue playing with some of them this year. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a great point you make about the 21 and 22 seasons. Really, you're the only, and this isn't a discredit to your numbers at all, is that
yeah,
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
the privilege and the opportunity, one of the only
Right,
players to play for two separate teams that were number one in offensive categories
yeah,
far and away both
right,
years. And like, how does that happen, especially once we went to the free agency model, is incredible. And you're at the top of the lineup for both of those teams. You had your own murderers row with the shorts. There's a split up there because of free agency.
mm-hmm.
One of the highest valued teams that we've ever seen offensively. And then you go to the eight balls, who in your world or your Dirtyard Classic lineup was you, Hollis, Simo, Vogus. Like,
Yeah, Yeah, no,
you
I
talk
mean,
about
definitely.
it's contagious. Hitting is contagious. It turns the
Yeah,
line
yeah,
back
yeah.
around, and you get more opportunities to succeed.
I definitely, there's no doubt that I thrive on that. And
Yeah,
I mean, if the person in front of me is getting a hit, I mean, it just makes you feel that much more confident. And that's, I mean, confidence is like a huge part of my game. Out is just
yeah,
as long as I can stay confident and really kind of in my own head, confident is like is the main thing. And I'm rolling pretty good. And yeah, so I mean, all this is like he's probably the best hitter out there. I mean, and just to have him in the lineup
mhm,
behind me is, I mean, I know that it'll be taken care of between one of us, and I don't feel that pressure to. I don't, and I think that is some of it too. Is I don't really feel that like immense pressure to
yeah,
produce because I know that I will get them, half the time or whatever it is, 42% of the time, whatever. But when I don't, the people behind me, they're at the same rate. So somebody's gonna get it.
yeah,
So I love lineups like that. I mean, I know that I've had the privilege of playing the lineups. I'm not really creating all these, but
mhm.
I mean, it's worked for me, so I can't
Yeah,
complain.
not that's real. Like my
Yeah.
earlier years as a manager, it really felt like you had the burden of carrying the heavier load of the
Yeah, no.
team. So
Yeah, I mean,
to
yeah,
have confidence in the
it's
guys ahead
fun
or behind you is
maybe, but
huge.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it could be it's fun to carry a lineup sometimes, but then in the
Mhm.
end, like it's down to you, and that can be tough.
That's the thing about baseball and wiffle ball. You can only
Right.
carry a lineup so far. They have to carry you too, so that you make
Yeah.
sure you're getting more at bats.
Yeah,
You
right.
have to get on.
Yeah.
So, well, I know you talked about what it's going to be like forming lineups. Now, this is
Yeah.
obviously the biggest announcement that we teased. Brendan and I teased last week in Dirtyard Dish season debut. But you're taking your leave.
Yeah.
LeBron James taking his talents to South Beach.
Yeah.
You're taking your talents to the Swamp or
The
the Swamp
swamp, yeah.
Land,
That's right.
upcoming for the 2023 season as the newest manager. So give us first some like backstory as to I would assume I'll put some words in your mouth here
Yeah.
is as you've become like one of these elite players. We've seen guys like Will, who wasn't a manager for the first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then the better he got, the more involved he got, and the more he wants to like give back to the league and be a leader and welcome people to the league. I would
Yeah.
assume that's kind of in the same breath that you want to do now that you've reached this status. Like, hey, I want to lead a team and take on that challenge.
Yeah. I definitely. I definitely feel that. I mean, being with Speak, he's a good leader, and that just kind of even showed me a little bit more kind of what to expect from myself at that level. And I mean, I think being on his team was nothing but helpful, and I mean, he's been nothing but supportive and in all this, and I appreciate that. And but I'm really excited. I think that I think that I don't know. I'm more so like can work with a collaborative team, and like it doesn't have to be me. And I think Speak is similar in those ways, and where I'll hear a lot of opinions, and I'll hear all of them, and that's kind of how I'm wanting to run
Mm-hmm.
the Swamp Dragons. I want a lot of guys who can give their input, and just kind of work on that and bounce ideas off each other. I don't know 100%, so I'm open to a lot of stuff, and I think that that's really going to benefit me out there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I'm really excited to put the team together. I know it's a couple weeks
Yeah.
until all the stuff comes out, but I mean I'm looking forward to it. I think I have an idea of kind of where I'm heading, but we'll have to see.
Okay. Well, now that you say that, I'm curious a
Yeah,
little bit. And you don't
yeah,
have to necessarily name names. I might ask that
yeah,
later. But what do you think would be a type of player in terms of skill set that would complement your game, being that you're like an all around guy? What do you think would be a
yeah,
great Robin to your Batman kind of a thing?
yeah. No, it will be interesting. I mean, I definitely in me moving from the eight balls. I mean, one of the reasons that I didn't think that the eight balls could stay together is because Hollis's salary is going to be, I mean, if he's the best hitter in the league, it's going to be 50. So,
Right.
he's going to be 45 to 50 wherever he falls. But so with seniors, Cap and Simos and everybody else, I didn't think everybody would fit. So
Mhm.
I think Alice and I are going to be able to fit on a roster, but that kind of leaves me in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't pitch, you know,
Right.
and that just kind of that's tough. But I think that for me, I mean, kind of like we talked about, I need a hitting lineup,
Yeah. Good
and
point.
yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a lot of guys who probably are experienced and can hit the ball well. I mean, the arms are going to be a little bit of a problem, but I
Mhm.
think that they can develop over the year. I got some ideas and some people in mind that
Yeah.
maybe haven't gotten as much of a chance. So they may be rated lower, and I mean, that's what I'm kind of banking on
Yeah.
in the construction. So
If you can commit, like it's obviously comforting to know that as a manager, you are your own team's ace, so to speak.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you can, especially as a two-way guy like yourself and adding hitters, yes, pitching is going to be advantage if you have a depth of pitching in this league. But if you have
yeah,
an ace and a couple good twos or
yeah,
a couple good threes, and you have a really studly hitting lineup, you can win slugfest games.
yeah, yeah. No,
I think
that's
it
what I've
showed for you guys
definitely.
last year.
Yeah, it definitely worked for us. I mean, Bogus was a great number two.
Mhm.
Just he wasn't able to be there all the time,
Mhm.
which understandable. Um, and that. I mean, that kind of was some of our downfalls. We didn't have a consistent third pitcher last year on the eight ball, so maybe. Uh, I mean that is a real likelihood, and all. I mean, it's a tough decision. It is a tough decision when you think about that because the arms are valuable, but maybe you can like I like maybe you can stack a couple number threes and make them a solid number two. But if they hit as well, it's obviously a huge lift. So I think definitely I'm looking for somebody who can do a little bit of both. Maybe not the best in the league, but can produce. And that's, I mean, I think a lineup with me, Alice, and whoever else you want to put in there is going to be all right hitting
Yeah,
wise. So well, I mean, we'll see what happens.
those two anchors at the top will definitely turn it over
Yeah,
for you guys. So, um, now more about the Swamp Dragons name. It's such
yeah,
a unique name.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure people that saw the announcement on Twitter and other social media are dying to know, like, what's the backstory of
yeah,
that, and
yeah, yeah.
why, if you can explain quickly that, and then like the color scheme, why you chose the color scheme.
Yeah, no, the Swamp Dragons, I mean, just with my guys that I'm talking to around the league, who I'm trying, just my little circle, there's things talked about, and we threw out a decent amount of names, but none of them were. I mean, they were all right, but Swamp Dragons actually comes from the Nets, the New Jersey Nets, back in I think it was like '94 or '95. They were like looking for a way to get more people into the stands, and they really considered for a little bit changing their name to the Swamp Dragons.
No way.
And so I mean, we're all big like NBA stands, so it kind of just like that just kind of gravitated. We kind of gravitated towards it. They have like a similar logo, and we were able to do some stuff with it. So I mean, and the colors, we had talked about the colors, and we didn't really want to be similar. I mean, there's only so many, and
Yeah.
they're taken throughout the league. Orange, red, blues, those are all taken. So I was just trying to be something a little bit different. But yeah, some of the other names that didn't get considered. We thought about maybe we just get a whole bunch of people from Jasper. We could be the Jasper Wildcats.
Hmm.
Uh, who else? The Green Goblins, but
Okay.
that was just trashed on for I'm not sure what reason. What else? The House Cats, but
House Cats.
yeah, none of them were
Real
none of them
intimidating
were
team name.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'm happy where we landed, and I think Brennan did a great job with the
Yeah.
logo and just stuff like that. I'm excited about creating the jerseys.
Mhm.
It should be. I mean, I've seen some ideas that I maybe want to do, but now that we're going with power, it's like
Mhm.
I mean that's great because I mean we got free reign over
Mhm.
the jersey making and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna look like. We thought about going like a little soccer kiddish.
Hmm.
Uh, at one point, but I'm not really sure. Uh, I don't know. I like Brennan's idea as well with the
Yeah.
Diamondbacks. I saw that on Twitter. I mean, that's a clean jersey, so I mean that'd be
At the
nice.
very
But
least, do you think like the base color is a preference between like purple or green at this point? Or would you want
um,
a gray or a white like
yeah,
MLB
I kind of like purple and like
purple?
I like the purple and the cream look with like a
Mm,
base or with a secondary of like the tealish green.
there you go.
That's kind of what I mean. Similar to that Diamondbacks
Mhm.
jersey, but I don't know. I'm looking at all kinds of
You
ideas.
can't go
We'll
wrong with
see.
either as a base color since they are unique. We don't have a green team or a purple team in the league, and
Right.
Lord knows we don't need any more blue and red teams in any
Yeah,
professional or semi-professional sport. So I
that's
appreciate
right.
you bringing a unique name and a unique color palette to the league.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
let's wrap up here in about 4 quick minutes with some rapid fire questions, and you just give me an answer or a name based on these quick 4 questions,
All right.
and we'll see what you come up with here. But I'm very curious since
Yeah.
you didn't tease these answers to me pre-show. Uh, which team did you enjoy playing the most in NWA the last 2 years?
All right. I would have to say Skibby.
Mhm.
Skibby this year, just because I mean, we played them 3 times and the
Yeah.
once in the pool play, twice in the tournament, and they were just close games. And I mean, they're really good players.
Yeah.
It's a fun game every time we played them. All their pitchers can. I mean, I enjoy playing them because a lot of their guys do all the things kind of like I do too.
Mhm.
Like they have a lot of fielders who pitch, who are also great hitters. So I can appreciate that, and those games were really fun.
Yeah, familiarity did not breed contempt. Like we played those guys 3 times and we
Yeah.
love them. Like they're great.
Oh yeah. No, it seemed like a different game every time. I mean,
Mhm.
it really did. But it was a great time. So
Yeah, Skibby, shout out to you guys.
that's
Uh,
right.
what CCW player do you love getting a hit off or striking out more than
God.
any other?
All right, it's probably the same player, and it's Dylan Jones. It's
Okay.
Dylan. Yeah, there's just something about getting a hit off that slow pitch, putting it in
The
the tree that
lollipop, yeah.
I can't get enough of. Just comes in so slow and
Mhm.
striking him out. I
It's
mean, we were on the
tough.
same team. Yeah, oh yeah, no, he's a great hitter. He's a great hitter. We were on the same team, and every time I would throw to him in practice, I probably threw 10% strikes. It was a tough look. So once we got in the games this year, I got him a couple times, and I definitely let him know about it.
Oh yeah.
I definitely let him know about it. I couldn't help myself, but
Nothing
no,
wrong
it's
with
that it's Dylan.
nothing wrong with some shit talk. I didn't
Oh
expect that
yeah,
answer, but I love that.
yeah.
More on CCW. Who is the most underrated player in the league?
Underrated. Okay, that's a good question. That is a good question. Um, Last year, I mean, if you want to go value wise, probably Witty. But I
Mm,
mean, I still think the most undervalued is probably Allis, honestly.
yeah.
Underrated,
Oh,
undervalued. I
easily.
think people don't give him. I think he's a much better fielder than he gets credit for. I
Mhm.
mean, he plays he's still playing the left side and going to play the left side.
Yeah.
Uh, and I mean, I'm happy with that. He's got really good hands, and he's huge, so he covers a lot of ground. He's similar to Brendan out there,
Yeah.
in that way. I think he's a great defender. So honestly, I mean, I love Witty, and he's really good too. But I'll probably have to go with my guy Alice. I mean, he's
Austin is
just
probably one of, if not the only guy, probably him and Reed that could at the center field 8 foot wall just stand up and be reaching over.
oh yeah.
Like those
Yeah,
guys are
I mean, he's a great athlete. As big as he
Mhm.
is, I mean, he moves well, and no, I'm excited to see him in his second year too. I think he's gonna. I mean, it's tough to get a better season than what he had, but I mean, I think he's just gonna continue and improve. You know how
Mhm.
seeing the ball is,
Yeah.
just when you've been out there for a while. So,
Yeah. All right, Taylor. Well, I appreciate your time getting through rapid fire there.
oh yeah,
This has been another great episode of Dirtyard Dish. We look forward to having you on in future, maybe this upcoming season or next year. We try to, switch it up, get some variety, but you're great to have on the show. Looking forward to you leading the Swamp Dragons this upcoming season as CCW's 7th franchise. Is there anything you want to plug quickly as we close this episode? You can say no if you got nothing.
We'll just plug the Lamar Toppings Twitter.
Follow Lamar Toppings on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. That's
one of the best
That's
follows on Wiffle
right.
Twitter. I totally agree.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks again, Taylor. Appreciate it. Be on the lookout, everyone, again, for more episodes of Dirtyard Dish, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, coming out weekly or semi-weekly throughout the rest of this off season in the winter. And I'll plug free agency coming up soon. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll see you later.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like for the baggers.
Back home again.
Back home again.
In
Indiana land.